Having a hard time entertaining yourself? And are others failing to do it for you? Are your entertainment options coming up short? Well then, get off your high horse. Grab yourself a tasty snack. And don't you dare move a muscle, because we're bringing you some of life's funniest moments. We've got a diva who gets dumped. A bather gets kerplunked. And a carriage gets junked. So grab your closest friend, or maybe even man's best friend, to wash down some of life's funniest moments. They say if you don't stand for something, you'll fall for anything. Well, these folks are only falling for you. The numbers dwindled a little each time, but this year's Sapstock 60s Revival reunion was practically empty. Leaf, Heather, and Sunshine had plenty of room to dance, though. The worst part of the whole 60s Revival deal is that not one person remembered to bring a Frisbee. So they had to resort to playing a game of Johnny on a Pony. While there may be nothing more fun than a game of Johnny on the Pony, doesn't the game where one team forms the pony and the other team takes turns jumping on the pony's back until it collapses go against the whole summer of love thing that we were here to remember? Sure, when you swim in a lake, there are no diving boards, but who needs diving boards when everything is so slippery? Calling it a sport is a stretch, but promoters are hoping chair racing is the next big thing. One thing for sure, the chair jockeys are not lacking enthusiasm, and just look at their fan base. Yes, women across the world seem to love chair jockeys, win, place, or show. Tonight on Dance Parties Gone Bad. Will Jimmy get over the dizziness from his ear infection in time to successfully spin Yolanda in the big finish? Apparently not. Some felt the mud parade went horribly wrong this year. But then again, if you're crowned Mud Queen, you gotta expect to get a little dirty. On this show, there never seems to be a shortage of good times. Some people eat black-eyed peas for luck, but this Pan-American tribe guarantees a prosperous new year by tossing two of their own into the creek every January 1st. It's good luck for everyone, except maybe the two people tossed in.
Wait, not yet, not yet.
This is a lesson in birthday party karma. If you're going to play a piñata prank,
Okay, go.
make sure you are out of the way of the boy with the bat. Since it was Rachel's first birthday, they decided to let her have some cake first. Just hope the rest of the partygoers don't mind their cake tasting like baby hands. The old saying goes, to know thy enemy is to know thyself. And Tinkles here is about to take a crash course in Dog 101. The secrets he would learn here would come in handy when it came to future battles with the dogs. But he'll still need to be creative because while Bowser may have taught him a lot, he didn't teach him everything. Behold the mighty Robin Hood. He robs from the rich and gives to the poor. Hopefully he robbed the rich of some crutches. Okay, sunglasses and bow tie. And shorts. Yeah, I still don't think they're gonna let this dog get into the movies. Coming up, a tub of Pete and Mary. And a baby who thinks he's scary. When we return with more of life's funniest moments. Welcome back to Life's Funniest Moments. Friends, they're more than just a free ride at the airport. Try as they might, the Guggenheims couldn't get their dogs and cats to be friends, so they devised a plan to keep them apart. The dogs could have the ground level and the cats could take to the sky. The Guggenheims created the kitty trail so the cats could still visit their favorite tree without infringing on the dog's territory. I guess necessity really is the mother of invention at the Guggenheim residence. Eddie was a bitter police dog who had seen it all. But when an adorable duckling comes into his life, he's forced to rediscover his nurturing side. Jerry Barkheimer presents a heartwarming tale for the whole family of ducks and dogs. You'll laugh till you cry and cry till you laugh as the adorable Waddles grows up before your very eyes under the loving guiding paw of Eddie the police dog. So why not let Waddles and Eddie tug at your heartstrings as Eddie teaches Waddles a thing or two about the world and Waddles teaches Eddie a thing or two about himself. Of Ducks and Dogs is a one-of-a-kind motion picture that should not be missed. Due to the surprising nature of this movie's ending, no one will be seated during the film's final 15 minutes. Of Ducks and Dogs, soon to be playing at a theater near you. This film has not yet been rated. Polly the pig pushed Penelope the pig in a pink pram per Penelope Pig's parents' parameters. Pickles they pined for, but pickles weren't packed. So Polly and Penelope picked pineapple even though they positively preferred pickles. Here's reason number 14 why you rent the suits you wear to a wedding. Let's hope he's not driving the limo. If he gets pulled over, he'd have a hard time explaining why he's wringing booze out of his suit. Time to give your electric bill a break as we do Life's Funniest Moments Unplugged. Frank and Jody spent their entire wedding budget on the ceremony and the reception so that they had nothing left when it came to hiring a limo for the honeymoon. But what is a limo when you have friends like these? Steve gave them the blanket and Reggie gave them the old tub he used for watering the horses. And all the guys volunteered to pull them to the airport. Luckily, they hired the videographer for the entire day so he could capture all of this on tape. I think these two are gonna make it after all. The economy's hit everyone. even the royals. They now save the crown jewels for formal affairs, and for everyday meals, they simply wear the paper crowns. The Santamani acrobatic equestrians were known worldwide for the acrobatics and their horsemanship. But the thing that kept audiences coming back again and again wasn't the standard tricks. No, you could see those most anywhere. They kept coming back to see the great Rabatini do his world-famous facial dismount. That's why he won't do 2 shows a night anymore. When you have claws as sharp as bears, you don't want to risk scratching yourself, so you let the tree do all the work. Women love ballroom dancing. Men love professional wrestling. Combine the two, and everyone's a winner. We replaced John Claude's Dom Perignon 1962 with a bottle we had strapped in a paint shaker all night long. Let's see if he notices. He noticed. What's Billy's secret to maintaining baby smooth skin? Is it the mud mask? No, he's a baby. This doesn't bode well. If he can't even get a bouquet in the fountain, how will he ever be able to carry her over the threshold later? There are just some things you hate to discover on your wedding day. You better eat a lot of protein at the reception. At the very least, a carbo load. They've only been married for 5 minutes, and he is already refusing to help her clean up. It's not his fault. He'd love to help, but the cummerbund on his tux is way too tight for any bending. Heck, he can barely breathe. Coming up, a kid with no table manners. And a group with no table. When we return with more of life's funniest moments. Welcome back to Life's Funniest Moments. A sprinkle of pepper, a dash of salt. If it doesn't taste good, it's not our fault. When something tastes great, they say it's finger-licking good. But something has to taste absolutely stupendous for you to want to lick it off someone else's fingers. Man, that cake must be the best cake in the history of the world. Not only is this cake delicious, but it's good for his complexion. You see, Mom put a little aloe vera in the frosting, and right now he's getting a healthy snack and moisturizing his skin at the same time. I don't know why this kid would want to look any younger. I mean, it's his 4th birthday, and he doesn't look a day over 3. sure it was a lot of work feeding Chomper the melon. I mean, you did have to hold it for him, but it sure beat having him chew up your shoes. It's lunchtime in the Hoffenpepper house, and we've switched Henry's regular cereal with Lankerson's brand cereal, now with 45% less flavor. Let's see if he notices. He notices. As soon as the Hendersons heard about this hot new television show, So You Think Your Dog Can Catch Food Out of Your Mouth While Balanced on Your Hands and Legs, they started rehearsing. Unfortunately, by the time they perfected the act, the show had been canceled. If Jimmy thinks he needs to go on a diet, he must be dreaming. Oh, actually, look, he is dreaming. Now that he's awake, he wants to know where his food went. When extra guests showed up at the party, it was time to pull the table apart and put in the leaf to accommodate everyone. And of course, the best way to do that was to dance it apart. See? Now let's everybody eat. Let's get those jerseys on. It's game time. The rules were simple in Doggy Dome. 2 dogs enter, 1 dog leaves. Whomever had the most teeth at the end of the game was the victor. And to the victor go the spoils. They huffed and they puffed, but it was a lot of sound and fury signifying nothing. Someone was getting walked, and they were getting walked soon. It's well known that cats hate water. But Garp here took it to an extreme. He didn't just want to avoid water, he wanted to fight it. This is the most important fight in the garden since Ali Frazier. Samson was eager to be in the annual sack race. He had the sack, And he had the drive, but unfortunately, visibility would prove to be a problem. Perhaps a smaller pillowcase was in order.
Samson feels more secure inside of his pillowcase. Samson, are you going to come out or are you going to stay in there all day? Samson, he'll stay in there for hours. So bye-bye. Oh, there's Samson.
Coming up, this little guy's gonna rock your world. When we return with more of life's funniest moments. Welcome back to Life's Funniest Moments. When the Martinez family would sit in the sun, they were always careful to use sunblock SPF 90. Unfortunately, they used Rock Block SPF 0. Easy there, Blake. There are 100 nicer ways to get someone to give you their chair. See you next time